Hey guys, welcome. Here we have a treat. Hopefully my graphics are looking better than they were before because I changed a few things yet again to try and make this work. So let's see what is going to be happening. We are watching vVv.ToXSiK, going to be the red Zerg in the bottom going up against mTwTT1. And they are playing on Antiga Shipyard, so it's a good, nice macro map. Let's just see what exactly is going to be going on, as these are players that I really want to see. ToXSiK is one of those unknown guys from vVv who's actually really skilled, and looks like this is not the first game that they played, so it might not be a ladder game. It could be a tournament one. I don't know, but unsure. Ooh, hey, hello Skype, bye Skype. But yeah, I just put ladder in the thing. I'm gonna just take that out now. So. That's all that was for. So, let's see what is going on. It looks like a best of 3 in a tournament. Maybe it's Playhem. I don't really know. All I know is that we have two really good players, and we're going to see what's going to be going on between them. I mean, these are two high-caliber players. ToXSiK is, I think, in the top 50 of everybody in the Master League in North America. So he's really highly ranked in the ladder. He ladders a ton. TT1 is one of those figures that everybody knows. He's now on MTW. He's still using his account of Fnatic MSI, which makes sense. He just probably doesn't have a name change. He probably went from TT1 to Fnatic MSI TT1 with that name change. So he can't exactly change it to MTW until he gets a new account or something. But everybody uses their old accounts. Destiny, Didero, those guys both still have root accounts. State, who's on Vile Gaming, he's got a TQ State account. It's perfectly fine to have multiple accounts with different tags and all that, so makes sense. Let's just I'm actually gonna quickly pull this up, make sure I can see if any drop frames from this, but we're gonna watch what's gonna be happening. Antiga Shipyard's a good macro map. We see ToXSiK playing pretty standardly. Unfortunately for him, these spawning positions are probably the worst ones he could have possibly gotten. Except for this, either close spawn is pretty bad for Zerg at times. At the moment, he's going to have to be very scared about his natural expansion, trying to hold it. As we are seeing that TT1 is going for a 4, so he could easily be aggressive with cannons, everything on the bottom of the ramp. However, with the spawning pool done, odds are it's not going to be the case because the Lings will come out, it won't do so well. The cannon won't have time to finish. And TT1 is not exactly in control, who loves to do that. In control loves to put down the pylon and then get a cannon, but apparently we are going to see TT1 still go for delaying this, but with Lings coming out, this pylon, odds are it's going to be cancelled. TT1 has gotten down his Nexus. You see other pylons, cannon. No gateway quite yet, but he will get that. However, he's actually served to delay ToXSiK quite a bit. He's over 400 minerals before he puts down that hatchery. So he's a little bit late on that, but no worries there. First queen, second queen on the way. TT1, gateway is out. And with this probe here, he's probably gonna get down some other thing to put down the wall, or yeah, there we go. Gateway's gonna be thrown down to try and keep that wall up. So 2 gates. He could cancel this one, or just produce 2 zealots at a time and get the +1 attack in order to really be aggressive, pretty much as early as you can be with a Forge Fast Expand. Especially when these spawning positions, he can definitely be aggressive. Run down those zealots, try and force units instead of drones. ToXSiK may not even have speedlings at that point, so there's not a single gas that has been taken as of yet. The creep tumor is going to start spreading between the main and the natural, but the natural's not even done yet. And where's the third base from ToXSiK? He seems to not be going for that. He just has these Lings on the field, but as far as everything else goes, it's looking pretty standard from both players. Is this going to be the third base? We have a drone moving out. He does have 300 minerals, but he hasn't thrown it down. That's actually a great thing that he's doing. He's sending the drone before he actually builds the hatchery. So he's going to have the drone here in time, and he's not going to have 300 minerals tied up the entire travel distance going to there. So that's a really nice thing for efficiency, but he's got to get that down now, otherwise his probe's going to stop it. There we go. It does go down. And look at that. TT1 tried to. Still, the hatchery does go down in place, and that's pretty much all he wants to do. And we are seeing that TT1 did decide to keep these zealots up. He is not getting his +1 attack, and I actually still have the health bars all the way on. I am not set up for casting right now. Still, it's all good. It's a replay. It's not going to really hurt anything to go and set those things up. Besides, anything to reduce the possibilities of lag. Alright, so now running around here, the third base is almost done. ToXSiK has a few creep tumors out. Going to continue to be able to spread the creep right now. No metabolic boost. Not a single gas yet. So he's really going for just spine crawlers, baselings, queens, hatches, creep, and that is it for defending early on. And we're seeing that just 2 zealots are being pushed out at a very weird time. I'm kind of surprised that TT1 didn't wait for 2 more. We pushed out 4. That's incredibly strong. 2 zealots, you can get surrounded by a few lings, and it can be dealt with without too much difficulty. It's the count of 4 and up early game that can really throw off Zerg, but 2 is going to be enough to possibly take down this queen at the very least. As we're seeing already, Roach Warren is not done yet, so maybe TT1 just going for that timing against the Roach Warren, but we are watching as that queen does get taken out. We have 3 lings against 2 zealots. That is not a good battle for Toxic at all. 1 ling does take a few hits, but another queen's going to come out, and actually this hatcher is taking out a fair bit of health, but where's everything else from Toxic? He's actually not building. There we have another force of lings ready to push forward. We are seeing that TT1 is now just going for sentry production, but this third is taking a little bit of damage. Now we're watching as these zealots are continuing to target down the hatcher, but now they're being switched. There's an attack move now. They get surrounded and taken down fairly easily, but Toxic did not overcommit. He's actually at 41 drones, which is still less than the 46 probes or 48 probes out of TT1, which is definitely odd. And Toxic, my poor heart, it's kind of amusing actually. And TT1 is just smiley facing, lolling, there's all that good stuff. Those guys are definitely being friendly, which is great to see. And TT1 is going for a robo and a bunch of gateways. So we're going to have a big gateway war prism, like a 6-gate +1 attack, but including a war prism and a fair count of sentries. There's already a pro outside here as well. Proxy pylon, essentially the safest proxy pylon you can have in these positions. Toxic is, he could take a fair bit of damage actually from this push. He's got 3 war prisms in here, can easily force heal the main base, and Toxic is just now about to finish his lair, probably going to throw down an infestation pit or something along those lines to be aggressive there. But now we have all of these zealots moving in here. We can easily see the sentries force heal the ramp, which they do, and that is perfect. Those are 2 perfect force heals to actually help deal with these guys. We only have a few roaches down here. This one queen is going to look very, very vulnerable, and the sentries are just hanging out here. More got warped in to continue force healing this, and Toxic may lose his 3rd base. Who needs to force field the main off when you've got enough sentries to force field both of these areas off without any difficulty whatsoever? And look at the timing on the force fields. It's perfect as this 3rd does get taken out. Those drones are going to be a little vulnerable, but TT1 could literally just force field and now retreat using the war prism. Now we're seeing the sentries picking off drones, and this is going to make Toxic a sad panda indeed, as we're watching a lot of this be taken out. But he needs 1 more force field to finish it off, but it looks like he's actually out of force fields. He does save 4 sentries, but he's going to lose these other 2. But I mean, hey, he took it out of base, so that's definitely worth it for TT1. And wait a second, I'm actually not showing my scoreboard. God, I am not on top of things right now. There we go. Didn't realize that it disappeared. Probably when I alt-tabbed or something. Wow, this was probably the most disorganized cast I've ever done, but it's kind of impromptu. This is literally all I'm streaming right now. Is just gonna be this cast, and then I have to run, so maybe I'm just being pressed for time. Who knows? Toxic is moving out here with a large force of roaches. They are here. They do have the speed upgrade. They just one-shot that. They one-shot the pylon. Now they're moving in, doing a lot of damage. This Colossus, though, is still alive. +1 attack is there. The +1 armor is almost done, but not quite yet. And now we have all of these zealots taking a lot of damage from the roaches. However, this Colossus is doing a lot, but it's only hitting a couple of roaches at once. It should get targeted down. We have Toxic bringing in more roaches. He's put down his 3rd. TT1 has his 3rd on the way, too, but these roaches are continuing to be aggressive. TT1 doesn't even have extended thermal land state. He's getting a lot of stalkers out, but without any kind of blink, these roach numbers are going to be more than enough to deal with them. We have a few links, but it seems Toxic is going to switch his target and start hitting this 3rd. Now all these stalkers are pushing forward as they're going to try and pull back and save their own lives. But is there a Twilight? I don't think there's a Twilight Council in the field. The Forge cannot get its next set of upgrades. Extended Thermal Lance is not done yet. This 3rd base is was allowed to finish, but Toxic going to continue actually whittling down its health. We have more roaches here. That should be enough to actually allow the Nexus to get taken down by the forces over there. This is a nice attack by Toxic. He's slightly ahead of the food cap, but not even a mortal on the field. And that might be enough to push back Toxic, although he's going to continue engaging. There are no sentries. There's a few zealots there. We have actually sentries being warped in, but Toxic's going to to push forward, finish off this Nexus, and probably retreat, but he's got to be careful because now he's going to get flanked. Sentries are not far enough forward to put down a couple force fields to lock these roaches in, but ToXSiK is being very aggressive, very effective, and everything is looking to be pretty solid on his front. But we are seeing this Warp Prism is continuing to be aggressive down here, warping in more Zealots. ToXSiK is trying to escape over here. We have this hatchery now taking a lot of damage. Spore Crawler is not done yet, but with all these roaches, these Zealots should be dying fairly soon. TT1 manages to save only one of them. The Queen's can take a couple shots off, but that Warp Prism is pretty much full health. We are seeing that TT1 is basically mined down his main. Not very many minerals are left, just a couple hundred in each of those patches, and he's actually chosen to distance mine over here, trying to optimize his economy for as long as possible. That pylon gets one-shotted, and we're seeing this Immoral going to get targeted down. Never mind, this Immoral could really get targeted down quite easily. We're seeing a few probes going down. Death to that Immoral. We have a nice force field down here helping TT1 defend really nicely, but look at all these probes that were efficient before, but now they're just dead. And that is not efficient. That's in fact the opposite of efficient. And now this base could really be taken down again. Will get canceled by TT1. It looks like he probably should cancel that, and he does. ToXSiK is now going to try and engage. One more force field is needed to actually block. There we go. There's the force field. Now we have the Colossus going to be able to hit these roaches from behind. As they're trying to flee down and take on the structural rocks. They might actually be able to do it in time. It's going to be close, but they could try and snipe off Colossus. More roaches are being drawn over to the right. They actually are at a full strand. No! Nice force fields by TT1. Actually, great awareness by TT1. And we are watching as more roaches are coming in completely, and these roaches are moving forward, dealing a lot of damage. The Colossus is still alive. 5 kills, 1 upgrades. Neither player is doing anything right now. There we have 19 roaches coming in. ToXSiK is controlling his economy really, really well, especially considering the damage that he has taken at this third base. He is playing this very nicely. Full surround with the roaches. The Immortal, though, with 15 kills. Oh my god, this Immortal is being so deadly. It's crazy. Now, a bunch of roaches pop. 19 of those roaches have just come into play, and that is a huge influx of units. We do see that ToXSiK does have a Hydra Den, but no Spire. He's going strictly Roach Hydra, it seems, in order to deal with the Colossus and just base ground army from TT1. TT1, though, doesn't have very many sentries. He literally only has 2 force fields available. This third base is being put down yet again, and that is a dead Zergling. As opposed to, like a Zergling, a single Zergling could take out this entire army. I don't know what would have to happen for that to take place, but still, TT1 is going to go for some more harassment with this Warp Prism. It's taking even more damage already. The shields are not even going to be fully charged, or they will be fully charged because they actually stopped moving instead of moving down here. But only 1 Spore Crawler is here, but it's in a nice spot to damage the Warp Prism. But ToXSiK has still not taken a 4th base, which is funny because I think in the chat they were saying that that ToXSiK lost because he never took a 4th base in the last game, or whatever they were doing. I don't really know, so I just have the replay. But all of these Zealots are moving around. They're not really doing anything. There's no charge. Is there a Twilight Council out for TT1? It doesn't even seem that way. There's no Twilight. He's not going to be able to get out charge or blink. And now you have a huge force of Roaches and Hydras moving across here. A lot of links. Some nice force fields. TT1 only has a single force field left. No Guardian Shields being used, though. But we can see that these Hydras in the back are getting a nice bit of DPS against these units. ToXSiK, the second that these force fields dissipate, yeah, there they are, being to be very, very aggressive, taking down more and more units. But there is a second Colossus, and this Immortal is there's now 2. Oh no, the very many killed Immortal is now got taken out, which is very saddening because the Immortal had so many kills. But ToXSiK is keeping TT1 under 100 food right now, which is crazy. He's being very, very aggressive. TT1 only has these 6 probes mining at this base, and that is it. But we are seeing that this Warp Prism did try and be aggressive in the midst of that attack. Didn't exactly accomplish much of anything. You see now it's down to 35 health, and that is not exactly a healthy Warp Prism. Infestation Pit is out, so we could easily start seeing Hive Stack. Spire is completed, so we could also see out some Corruptors, as we are seeing a single Corruptor in production, and 4th base from ToXSiK is now down here in the bottom middle. Nice Roach Hydra Force. They do have the +2 attack. Carapace +1 is researching as well, so things are looking good in the upgrade department for ToXSiK, while TT1 still doesn't even have a Twilight Council. He's getting another Colossus, but this lack of upgrades is going to be hurting. The only thing that he has a real advantage with in the army is that the few lings that are in here, in fact, I think it's actually 0 lings. So, yep, not a single ling is in there. So we're not even having the Zealots being very, very good against those lings. Plus, they don't have charge, and that means they're not going to be that good against roaches or hodges or anything. But look at the food count. Toxic at 181, TT1 at 127. That is not the best. Not the best at all. Still, Toxic is looking to be quite solid. Look at his drone count. He's sitting around at 69 drones compared to 51 probes, which is very, very solid. We can see as far as harassment goes, Toxic has done more damage. 26 probes killed as opposed to 17 drones that were killed by TT1. And being this zealot heavy, he seriously needs charge. He's got to get down Twilight Council and get down charge. He wants those to be useful. It's worth the investment. Charge loss are infinitely better than just normal zealots. Let's take a look at the energy on those sentries. They all have at least 1, if not 2, force fields available. And that's going to be really key in defending against this army of a lot of roaches in there. Good force fields, but the roaches are still up in the front, dealing a lot of damage to those units. We have sentries coming around the back. They're going to not survive for very long, as TT1 is getting hit hard at the moment, as he is losing these Colossi to the small amount of Corruptors. But Toxic can afford to trade. As long as he can keep his Colossus count down, that'll be really, really important. He's going to have 4 Corruptors left, and they're going to take a bit of damage, but they will be retreating, and that will make TT1 go off to the right and try and get back into bases. He's still producing a lot of pros. I think he got another Robo too. He's now on 2 Robo. He's getting Immortals, it seems, but Toxic has now got a nice income with this bottom middle base. He's up to 4 bases against essentially 2 bases of income, and that is not a strong 2 bases at all. It's essentially almost 1 base of income within the next minute or 2, and TT1 just cannot expand. He cannot feel comfortable, as Toxic is getting very, very active with these units, and it's seriously hurting TT1. So now we can see the Hive is out. Do we have a Greater Spire going down? Yes, we do. Greater Spire is down. No, wait, he never got range for his Hydras. Toxic, and now you have TT1 going for the gold base. Meanwhile, Toxic is getting his 5th base in the bottom left, and a 6th base double expo from him. He's going to get a seriously strong economy at the moment, but let's see, A84 drones, the 55 probes. That is a much better economy for Toxic, as we can really see that TT1 is starving. He's managed to make this main last pretty much as long as possible. You can already see that Toxic has completely mined out his. Toxic's natural is almost completely mined out as well, as his drone saturation has been quite nice pretty much this entire game. And TT1 still only has the 1-1 upgrades, and he still doesn't have a Twilight Council. I don't understand his reasoning for not having a Twilight Council. I mean, I guess he feels starved, but he needs his units to be as cost effective as possible. Still, he's a better player than me, so I can't exactly question him too much. But if he just had Blink, if he just had Charge Lots, I don't know. Toxic is now distance mining over there, waiting for that to come up. And TT1 has his gold officially up, but there is a changeling staring at it all. Is there another? Nope, no more upgrades out for Toxic, just at the 2-1, and no melee attack upgrades, which is going to be interesting considering this Greater Spire is enabling all these Broodlords. There they are. Was it? I think it's 12 Broodlords I just saw. Yeah, we've got 12 Broodlords going to be on the way soon, and that's going to be crazy. But y'all do see a nice engagement down here. But oh, TT1, there we go. Those are the force fields that he needs. Toxic with a nice reaction time. Going to pull back and look at all that sentry energy that was wasted. These roaches are pretty much dead. They're guaranteed to die. Toxic needs to try and snipe off some sentries or something that can guarantee damage. But here we have the Broodlords, and these are not Blink Stalkers. These Stalkers have no Blink whatsoever. There's not enough Twilight Council or Conjure or anything for that. And now we're going to watch as all these Broodlords are going to be pushing in, dealing so much damage. This gold base is functioning well-ish. There's no gases there or anything. But now we're going to see that Toxic has 8 Broodlords. It's going to be down to 7 Broodlords. But still, look at the damage that he's doing. Toxic's going to have all his bases down here, but it seems like these Zealots are harassing that base rather nicely. And now Toxic has a super saturated base over there. Still, where is that Twilight Council? I saw it in the production tab. Where is it? There it is. There we have the Twilight Council getting the Blink. So TT1 is going to get Blink after the Broodlords have already killed a bunch of his army. Now you have more Broodlords going to be pushing in with Roaches, with Hydras. TT1, though, does have a nice Colossus count with 15 kills on that Colossus, 17, 15. It's a Stalker, it's more or less 12 kills. This Colossus 13 kills. That is rather nice. And now we're going to see that this gold is going to get sieged by the Broodlords in a very good position. And by the way, guys, Broodlords have the sickest range ever. They have a 9.5 range. They actually technically have a longer range than Colossi, who only have a 9 range. Siege Tanks have the highest range of the game. Broodlords, I believe, are second. But these are also Broodlings that do not have attack upgrades, which is seriously going to hamper the amount of DPS that they can do. But seriously, there's so many Broodlords, it doesn't matter. ToXSiK is winning this with a really nice economy and just hammering down TT1 in the very start of the game. But now we're seeing TT1 harassing once again with Zealots down there. This base did go down, but I don't think TT1 is aware of the fact that ToXSiK has that base as well. We'll see that his vision, he has no idea. So I'd be thinking that he's about to starve out ToXSiK too, but look at the incomes. ToXSiK has a significant advantage. Drone count, income, everything. It is looking to be completely in his favor in that respect. Now we're having all these Broodlords moving in, but there's the blink, and now the Broodlords are going to be in a little bit of a worse spot to try to deal damage, but hey, this is kind of looking to be a battle that is definitely favoring ToXSiK. I mean, look at that. He's remaxing 19 Roaches on the way again. Second time we've seen specifically 19 Roaches being made, but still, Hydras are still alive in the back, and that is going to be GG, and TT1 gets taken out by vVv.ToXSiK. Very cool game. So thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'm sure you can tell by all my difficulties in the beginning that I need to run. I don't want to be late. Thank you all for watching. I'm gonna peace out. Yeah.